November 2015 forecast. I can't believe it's November. And this is an Astro Tarot forecast. Thank you for joining me. And thank you for subscribing and liking and sharing these videos and posts. And for joining me on Facebook at Audrey, Alison, Astrology and Tarot. I just wanted to take a moment to let you know how to book a reading with me, and that would be through my website, audreyallison.com. And you would go to the appointment request page, and you would fill out a tiny little section of information with your name and your email and number, and then you submit that to me, and you also make your payment via PayPal at the same time. Because I process orders in the order in which I receive them, I usually have to get the PayPal order first in order to book with me, because it shows your commitment to the reading. And then I contact you within a couple of days. Now, sometimes I'm able to get back to you on the same day. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm in reading, sometimes I'm filming, etc. So I'll get back to you within a day or two, maybe 3 if I'm really busy. But I'm usually good at that, and then we can get something rolling. So let's start the month. There's a lot of energy happening in your 8th and 7th house this month. A lot of the transits are occurring in these sectors for you. And on November 2nd, Mercury enters Scorpio. So this will be about communications in your house of intimacy, communications regarding shared resources, and information coming in about where you're putting your money, your investments, and your properties, and maybe your wills and estates, inheritances, news coming in regarding what you're receiving in the 8th house of shared resources and other people's money. Mercury will be there quickly. He transits. He's making up for his retrograde that we are experiencing in October. And he transits again on the 20th. So you have 18 days with him in this sector. So if you are considering moving your money around and where you want to put some money and the best places for advancement in the financial arena, this is the time to do it, the top of the month, the first 2 weeks. On the 8th of November, Venus transits as well. It will leave Virgo, where she spent 30 days, and enters Libra, where she'll meet Uranus, who's been Uranus is in Aries, but she'll be trining. When Venus enters the cardinal sign of Libra, this will affect Uranus in Aries. And Uranus has been at the 19-degree mark for a while, been in Aries for quite some time. This is your 7th house of marriage, partnerships, business relationships, the house of the others, the house of commitment. So Venus, the planet of love and sensuality and balance and harmony and money for business partnerships, will remain in this sector in Libra through December 4th. This is wonderful for those of you in business with another person. It's great for people who are in marriages who want to connect better with their spouse, or people who are in committed monogamous relationships who maybe want to take things to the next level. A lot of engagements could happen between November 8th and December 4th when Venus is in your 7th house sector. Now, for those of you who aren't in relationships, that is the time to get out and go to those holiday parties. Go to the dinner invitations, even if you're the 3rd, 5th, or 7th wheel. I'm very familiar with that role. Go, because Venus in the 7th could inspire that relationship and is somewhat of a catalyst in this sector for love. Now, the 7th house is commitment, so this wouldn't be a lighthearted attraction. This would be stable and something that could be very deep and smoothed over with the Venus energy. On the 11th, Veterans Day, 11/11, we have our new moon at 19 degrees of Scorpio, again impacting the 8th house. Now, this new moon at 19 degrees trines Chiron in Pisces, so the 8th and 12th house are affected harmoniously. These are very deep houses, spiritual undertones to the 8th and 12th house. and the house of depth, the 8th house, and the 12th house of spirituality and hidden secrets and release, and the house of addictions. So the new moon here, if you want to let go of a habit, because of the trine, because of the influence, with Chiron, the wounded healer, smoothing over and healing the energies of release in the 12th house, this is the perfect new moon to release an addiction or a bad habit or a vice. Now, for those of you not feeling that, the 8th house is where you want to focus your new moon, your intentions, not just for the 28-day cycle, but for the year, this new moon in the 8th. Every new moon you can use to implement new structures in your life for that whole year. And because you will get a new moon in each of the houses every year. So this new moon, if you can do it for the four-week lunar cycle if you choose, but this would be really best served where Mercury is. It'll be conjunct Mercury in the shared resources sector and the 8th house of intimacies. What are your goals intimately? How would you like to see new intimacy arrive into your life? Great moon for that. On the 12th, a day later, Mars enters Libra where he meets Venus. Those two have been following each other around, boyfriend and girlfriend. In Libra, Mars in Libra, cardinal energy, 7th house of marriage, relationship, business partnerships, conjunct Venus. Mars is there through the 3rd of January, because Mars doesn't transit as quickly as Mercury and Venus do. So he's there through the rest of the year and 3 days into 2016 already. So this is stimulating, Mars' stimulation and energy, and I wanted to say expression, but that's not accurate. But I'm feeling like you might need to express yourself in the 7th house. He's action. He's energy and action. And he's feisty. So Venus and Mars in the 7th is great for commitment and linking up and finding relationship. So you'll have some luck there, Aries. And he's your ruling planet. So your ruling planet in the 7th house, your focus becomes the relationship. And you, Arians, could meet someone worth the relationship in this month of November. On the 20th, Mercury shifts out of Scorpio into Sagittarius. I'm just thankful that he's direct at this point, because that September retrograde was rough. Okay, rough for me, just because it was in my communications sector, which was haywire. But Mercury transiting into Sagittarius will affect the 9th house of travel for you. Information and communications abroad, or regarding schooling and certification, the 9th house of higher learning, higher knowledge, higher study, and the 9th house of law, philosophies, religions. There's the desire to learn and read. Mercury, reading, writing, study itself in the 9th house. A lot of you Arians could be going to school. Mercury will be there through the 9th of December. So let's see how that plays out for you. Great for students. Great placement for students who need to really absorb the information at that time. The Sun enters Sagittarius on the 22nd, where he meets up with Mercury in this 9th house. What a beautiful time to travel over the Thanksgiving holiday for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere. The Sun in the 9th house, you might be very inspired to get some education, or very inspired to travel outside of your country, to connect with foreign cultures. Is that guy's car going to be all right over there? I'm sorry if you hear that. The 9th house of legalities. And for those of you with pending settlement energies, between the 8th and the 9th house of settlements in the 8th house and law in the 9th house, you could see something triggering and manifesting in the month of November for people who have things pending. But I'll get to the tarot about that on a deeper level. On the 25th, we have our full moon at 3 degrees of Gemini. Now, this is kind of cool because Gemini usually has their full moon in December, but we're a little early on this year. So on the 25th, close to Thanksgiving, the full moon at Gemini in your third house of communications. And Gemini, ruling the third house naturally on the solar wheel, will trine Venus and Mars in Libra consecutively on the 25th and 26th. Beautiful energy over the holiday for communication and connecting with both the sexes, Venus female, Mars male, but bringing something to your awareness and possibly an ending in the communication style. Because the full moon is the culmination and the summation from new to full as the moon waxes, there could be a change in the communication style, or maybe you receive, this is a message, some of you might be receiving communication or an email of a finality around that time, some closure that you've been waiting for, waiting to hear back from someone. And that time frame can be the receipt of a message from maybe a past love, or even a sibling. Between the Mars and Venus energy, I'm feeling brother-sister interaction. And by the end of the month, both Neptune and Chiron in Pisces are direct. So bring on the nebulous energy. I like Chiron direct because the asteroid, the wounded healer, is able to work his magic best in smoothing over and healing the 12th house where you have Pisces. A lot of dream work, a lot of clarity through premonitions and sleep and dream coming through at that time. Now for your cards, I'm using a deck I haven't used before, Tarot of the Witches, just because I've had this deck for such a long time, but it's seasonal. We're just going to reach Halloween soon. So Tarot of the Witches by Fergus Hall has the Emperor on the back. You can see how old it is by the edges, but I treasure them just the same. Simple crisscross design on the back. Let's see what comes up for you, Aries. Could be the 8th house of intimacy in the cards, cup cards, or the 4 of wands for the 7th house of marriage, or the sun. Let's see. Aries. And if you'd like to book with me, I'm at audreyallison.com. 7 of coins. Look how cool these cards are. Earning income by something that you are skilled or crafted in doing. Having a vision. See the eye? Third eye. Keeping the goal of your work in mind, your skill set. Ooh, look at this. The 8 of coins. Interesting, because they look similar. Absolutely the craftsman, skilled trade, earning for creative ventures, but also investments in where you're putting your money in that 8th house of shared resources. Death card, transformation. This is that 8th house of Scorpio, where Mercury enters Scorpio, the new moon in Scorpio. This is the card that governs Scorpio in the Tarot. How creepy is that Halloween card? But transformation. Death card means transition, change. It also represents all things 8th house. The occult, Halloween, mysteries. Also, shared resources, where these 2 cards would fall into play. The Knight of Swords. Someone coming in very quickly. Could be an attorney. Could be regarding that 9th house of legalities. The Knight of Swords, the Knight always brings a message with him. And you might need to cut off some things that no longer serve you with the Knight of Swords. Such a cool card. So creepy. They're kind of like perfect Halloween cards, so I thought I'd bring them out. What doesn't serve you? Some of these messages that I felt like you'd be getting and hearing from people around the full moon. 2 of Cups, 7th house, partnership, love, connection, attraction, relationship. You might be ending relationships. Queen of Coins. Mastering your environment and occupation. Property. Investments. being paid what you're due. You have several coin cards. You also have that Knight of Swords coming in with information, and I think that next to the Death card, it will be changing. Changing maybe the money you received. Some of you might be dating an air sign male, a Libra, Aquarius, or a Gemini. And some of you might be dating the Queen of Coins. Oh, wait. Sorry. The Queen of Coins, which is the earth sign female, maybe a little older than you. Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. Now, I'm really drawn to the coin cards, the way they came up together, and the Death card in the middle, meaning that there's a change in the style of what you're earning and where you're putting your money in that 8th house. And 8 of Coins could be the shared resources in a big way. And this is the 7th house that was mentioned, the Cup cards that I suggested. The 2 of Cups is the soulmate. So I feel like Arians have their mind split in 2 directions, finances and relationship. And that's exactly what the 8th and the 7th house hold for you in this month. This could be information itself, because the swords are ruled by Mercury, and they are communication cards, the mind, the mental thought, the intellect. So it can be that information is coming in quickly regarding love. And this can represent the person in which you are dealing with in love. It could also symbolize it's the outcome card. And it could be where these original coin cards are leading you. The Queen is a very high positioning in the coin sector, in the Pentacles. So you went from the 7 to the 8 to the Queen. That means you're moving up in direction. I like to see that. That's a positive financial forecast. And changes happening. Changes happening in where you're putting your money and who you're spending your time with. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you're ascending, so change and transition has to come with that. Thank you for joining me. I also want to tell you you're going to be interviewed on the 28th of October by Joanna DeVoe, and we'll have some cool Skype interview action happening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for enjoying my new music. If you're interested in getting more information about my band, I won't interject too much in the astrological forecast about it, but my website is ethersmusic.com, and our YouTube channel is Ethers Music. Thank you for joining me, and remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.